What's up, guys? Part 3 of my Yeti build. Welcome back. Well, as you can see, we're in the initial stages of putting the fur on this guy. I gotta mention it's pretty messy. I bought a couple different types of fur because I had a pretty good idea in mind of what I wanted to do. So I've started to put the fur on him. The head went pretty smooth. I'm still doing the eyebrow. I got to touch it up a little bit, but it's going pretty well. The body is going pretty well too. I'm going to get the main body done here, and then after I get the main body done, I'll probably do some type of weathering of the fur. I'm not sure. I've been watching some videos on how to weather it, so we'll pause the video and I will get to furring this guy out and we'll take a look at him. All right, guys, we're back. Got the body all coated in fur. I decided to take the fur off the head because I realized I still got to weather the face. And it'd be a lot easier to do it if I didn't have the fur on it. And I really didn't like how the fur turned out on the head, so I'm going to redo it. But I still got to weather the hands, touch up the feet, and detail paint all that. But the body's basically done. I've been working at I'm looking on different weathering techniques. I'm going to use these two paints here, spray the fur, then tough it up to give him a weathered look. So, yeah, that's where we're at on this guy. He actually turned out a lot better than what I thought. The reason I did the shorter fur around the torso and the legs is because I wanted to give the silhouette a little more, I guess I wanted to make him more noticeable in his midsection. I know a lot of people coat the whole body with fur and you can't really tell the details of his robust frame, so I just went ahead and did that around his extremities. So I think I'm going to use this type of fur on his head too for a nice contrast. But yeah, he's almost done. I'm really excited. Actually, it's turned out a lot better than what I thought it would. It's hard for me to, without somebody videoing me doing this, to tell you how I did it. I usually glue a lot of this stuff, but I used a staple gun, which if you are familiar with any of my really original videos I put on here, when I did the hamburger elves, I stapled all the beards on them, and staples work really well because they hold and they're not permanent. So if you wanted to recoat this guy at some other time and do a better job, I could just pull all the fur off. So I'm going to pause the video, then I'm going to detail paint the face and the hands and the feet and weather the fur, and then I'll be back hopefully with the final product. Okay, guys, we're back, and this is the completed Yeti. He's all weathered, touch up, detail painting done. He turned out pretty good. I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. It looks nothing like the concept sketch I did, which is usually how it is for most of the things I do. Those are just kind of like a jumping off point. But I was really happy with the way this guy turned out, though. There's a few things I didn't like about him. First of all, if I had to do it all over again, I'd make the hands a little different. But that was my first attempt at sculpting the hands. I really liked the feet. I liked the way the weathering turned out on him. The face, he has a little bit of an Asian influence. He's from the Himalayas, so I thought that was apropos for this figure. I redid the head like I mentioned in the last video. I probably will fix it a little more and make it a little cleaner looking, but just for this video, that's how he looks. I did do the weathering. I like the way it turned out. I might add some more weathering. Something I want to mention, I think I mentioned in the last video about this guy, the midsection. Some people who I've shown think it's a little cartoonish looking. I understand that. But the reason I went with the smaller fur was, like I said, to outline the silhouette of his body, to give a little bit of a contrast with the large fur. I thought if I would have went all fur, it would have made him look a little goofy looking, almost like a giant mop, like Cousin It. So I did this, but if I need to, I can always remove this and go back and do it again. But I'm going to leave him the way this is for now. I think he just looks great. I wish I could have done videos of how I did it, but I don't have those videos. I'd have to have somebody down there helping me, and I don't really have access to that person right now. I guess my wife could, but wouldn't that be a little weird? Let's go ahead and bring in comparison my Yeti that Chris Andres did. You guys can see an actual artist who does art for sale on Etsy and other platforms, what his looks like compared to mine. Mine's a little taller, a little more robust. They're both limited posability. His looks a lot more refined than mine, actually, if you take a look at his face and whatnot, and all his hands and sculpting. And then you have mine. His obviously looks a little better than mine, but I think they both look pretty comparable. I can't wait to get mine out and put him in the wild. Now, something about the skin, when I weathered it, it darkened it up. I really wanted it to have a lighter skin tone, but I think this is fine the way it turned out. I don't mind that. So here's a G.I. Joe for reference, for point of reference, I guess. So yeah, I finally finished my Abominable Snowman, or my Wild Man of Kathmandu, or my Yeti, or whatever you want to call him. And I was really happy with the way this project turned out, actually. I wish I had more time to make more of these type of figures, because I think if you continue to make them, kind of like my mummies, you get better at them. So yeah, just pretty excited about this guy, and I can't really wait. Hopefully we have a good snow this year, because I've got a kind of a photo story lined out for this guy. And that's it, I guess. I appreciate you guys tuning in for the three-part video series on this. I know it probably isn't the greatest video in the world, but I'm excited to get it done. Like and share this, obviously. Comment. I always appreciate the feedback. I hopefully have more projects lined up. We'll just have to see how the year goes. I think this is probably it for me for the rest of this year, but I do have a queue of things I'd like to work on next year. In the meantime, I've got a pretty mega October What's in the Shop coming soon. Got a lot of cool stuff to share with you guys. I have a surprise toy review coming up, I hope Friday, and I'm going to continue my review of all the G.I. Joe Collector Club figures, as well as some other odds and end videos that I'm going to throw in there. But I just enjoyed doing this, and I enjoyed sharing this with you guys. So this is the Yeti from Skunkworks for my G.I. Joe Adventure team. And cheers.